Hi everyone, my name is Anne. Thanks for joining me for Art on the Creek today. We are not in my home studio in Parker, Colorado. We're in my car right now. I just pulled up. We're in Littleton, Colorado, and we have arrived at Hudson Gardens. It is a beautiful, beautiful space, free to the public, free parking, and I think we should go explore and do some plein air. Are you ready? Come on, let's go see what we can find. Well, in the opener, you guys saw the real me. That is the attire for plein air. You never know what you're going to encounter, so you want to dress very, very comfortably. And I just don't put on makeup on these days, so sorry about that if that was a little shocking to you. Right here, I've gone in. I've just cut to the left and avoided the gift shop for this particular visit. But the Hudson Gardens website, I'll put a link in the description so that you guys can see it. There are so many neat things to do in the fall and the winter. It's not just a spring and summer garden. The coffee shop is open. There's an art walk, bird walks. Like I said, there's a gift shop. And then over the holidays, they have light up and New Year's shows. So this particular one is for the fall season, and it is delightful. What we're seeing today is the magic of the jack-o'-lanterns. It's a special event that they host each fall, and I really want to come back when it's dark outside. They've got everything that you can imagine, from aliens right here to bikers we're going to see coming up, to dinosaurs, to fairy tales, to Disney, and artists. We'll see some of those at the end. But here's very, very close to where we're going to be. Here it is. This is Monet's place, and I just love this little hideaway. It's so secluded and very nice. It's right off the trail. They host weddings here throughout the year, and wouldn't this just be a lovely place to have a beautiful ceremony? Not only weddings, but also celebrations of life or any other kind of big gathering that you'd like to have. There's benches to sit on. This particular grass here is turf, artificial turf, so it's green year-round. But look at this beautiful cottonwood that all the cottonwoods along the river actually are turning gold. And then back in the corner there by the bridge, there's some sumac that'll turn bright red. I just thought that this was such a beautiful spot to meet, and we're just going to sit down and paint and have ourselves a really good time. One of the great things about enjoying some spontaneous plein air in a location like Hudson Gardens is it's as convenient as your city park or your neighborhood park. I'm just about 70 yards away from my car right now in the parking lot, and it feels like I am just in a very quiet, secluded location. Let me just fill my little cup up with water here, and we'll get started. I'm going to show you the cute little supplies I have. I always like trying something new, and these have been pretty popular. Well, these are older. These are my my plein air paintbrushes that I like to use. They're from Cheap Joe's. They are Miller's Pseudo Sable, and I just really like this bullet style, and this is a very high quality brush. I'm very pleased with this particular set. I think I'm just going to get out the one brush today. But check this out. This is a wristband like you would use, back in the 70s. They were really popular for tennis. Now I've only seen them with football players with that little flap where they have their plays on there and it's laminated. But that will be what we'll use to wipe our brush. And this little sketchbook is just so tiny. It's about 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And then I have this, and I know these are so popular, these little magnetic palettes. So we're just going to clip that up there, and I filled it with Core paints. That's QOR by Golden. I don't really paint with those too much on the channel, and I decided that I would go ahead and fill this little palette with those. And I have warm and cool primaries. So let's just see what we can come up with here. Now, I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to use my paintbrush to draw. And right now, what I want to start with is the view right in front of me, which is this little part where the river bends, and that's my shoreline right there that I'm putting in. and then I will put in the cottonwoods and the reflection and a little bit of water. Now it's going to look like a hot mess at first. This is something that I want to explain to you guys. When you're doing plein air, you really have to change your expectation in order to be successful, to have a really good time plein air. Don't expect a masterpiece. That is number one. This sketchbook is so tiny. There's no way that I could create something here that I would be so pleased and enter it in a show or frame it. This is just a little tiny memory of my day today, and that's what I would like all of you to go into the spirit of. The next time you experience plein air, I would like you to go in it with that spirit. Think of it as a little way to record an outing. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. It doesn't have to be finished when you leave, actually. In fact, I didn't finish one of my paintings, and I will have to finish that up in just a minute here when I'm done with this recording. But I tell you what, this little clip-on wood palette is so easy to use. Now, I found it really satisfying, actually, to not have to deal with as much water. So I'm just kind of trying to paint in a little bit of where I want the reflection to go and just kind of getting some ideas down. I'm not really even, I'm not committing to anything just yet. I'm just kind of placing some things in there, because I will go over this and I will change it. And this was a very unique day for me in Colorado because it was very cool out and a little bit humid. Normally, I'm used to this particular sketchbook, which I've used a couple of times. I'm used to it drying within a matter of seconds. Well, it was a little bit more humid today, and the book stayed wet a little bit longer than I would have thought. The colors that I have in here, I've just got a set of warm primaries and cool primaries and burnt sienna on the left bottom there, and then a yellow ochre on the right bottom. So you can see the warm and cool yellow, warm and cool red, and a warm and cool blue, and then of course that burnt sienna and yellow ochre. And really, that is just all you need to create a full spectrum of color. So now I've kind of got the trunk end of the big tree up on shore, and I'm just tapping in some different yellows to suggest the leaves. I'm not worried about anything. That's the best part about plein air for me, is that I am just experiencing the moment. I'm listening to nature. I'm listening to a lot of kids. There, when I sat down, there were. It was just the right time, actually. I had plenty of time to paint before all the toddlers came over. They were adorable. But there was a big group of them, and the moms were, of course, chatty and busy trying to corral their toddlers, which they should be. They should be having fun like that. And I was glad that I was almost done painting by that point, or ready to go to a more quiet location. It doesn't bother me at all. I love kids. I have my own grandkids, and nothing gives me more joy than watching them. In fact, that is what I did, was I stopped painting for a while so that I could watch the kids. They were really enjoying seeing the ducks and pointing to all the pumpkins. So that was a little bit of a surprise and delight. But what you can see that I'm doing is I just rinse off my brush, and then I blot it off on that wristband on my wrist. And it was funny because a couple times I forgot, and I went down to go to a paper towel, but then I realized, oh yeah, I don't need to. I've got that right here on my wrist. It was actually very, very convenient to use, since this little paper is so small, and it's kind of a nice little off-white tone. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera. It's really a cute little sketchbook. This is going on my suggested gift list for artists this year, because this little set is just way too fun. I'm kind of maxed out on my space here. I've got to let things dry before I continue. So I'm just going to add just a couple more strokes in here. We'll just put some green at the bottom, and we're going to go in later with an ink pen and get that all a little bit more defined. And that's some of the fun beauty of plein air, is that you never know what to expect. I had no idea what I was going to see today. I didn't know what I was going to paint. And I did not know that these ducks were going to be such wonderful performers. For some reason, I think it is just hilarious when a duck dives down in the water and their feet kind of flap on the surface and their little tails are up in the air. So this is what I'm going to paint right now. There are two ducks here that are just doing their best to dive and bob for something. So I will fast forward through this one. It's much the same experience where I'm using my paintbrush to paint, to draw a sketch in the little scene that I want to paint. And the best thing about this particular sketchbook is that it is a great practice in scale. To really focus and paint something this small, you have to whittle down an awful lot. You've really got to look at a very big, beautiful scene and decide the one item that you want to feature. And for me, it was these ducks. They were having some kind of a fight here, and then as quickly as it started, it settled itself. But isn't that beautiful? Look at those ripples in the water. I just really loved watching these ducks swim around, and it looks like right there were 3 males and 1 female. I'm going to continue to try and paint them here. So let's go through a little speed paint of these ducks once again. You know, the other thing that I really enjoyed about working in this small scale is that it forces you to really think about color, and using a warm and cool primaries to just mix what it is that you need, and working in such a very, very small space really reminds you of where to leave your highlights and where to put in some interesting color. So this was actually an unexpected benefit, having this small size and limited palette. The other really great benefit to this is time. If you only have a lunch hour and you're just going to go sit outside and sketch maybe the people walking on the street where you work, or if you have the wonderful opportunity to be able to get out in nature, maybe you just want to sketch a little tree or something, with this tiny, tiny sketchbook, you can really get that sense of accomplishment. Now, the pen that I'm using is one of my favorite pens. It's a Japanese desk pen, and I will put a link to it. All the links that I'm putting in the description, by the way, are affiliate links through Amazon, and just a really convenient, easy way to shop. And I'm actually filming this on Amazon Prime Days. Let me know in the comments below if you guys really shop for art supplies on those Prime Days. I don't necessarily do that myself, but if you guys do, kind of leave in the comments. Let me know your best tips and tricks. I think by the time that this is posted on YouTube, it will be past. Prime Days will have already come and gone. But you know, I have found lately that it just seems like you can just about find something on sale just about everywhere I shop, whether it's online or in store. But frankly, most of my shopping is done online. Even my grocery shopping, I still go and pick those up because I have decided that it's a lot more convenient, and there's many other things I'd rather do with my time than go grocery shopping. And painting in the park is one of those things that I would much rather be doing. So at any rate, I didn't pay that much attention to Amazon Prime Day this year. So let me know in the comments, is that something that you do? Do you look forward to Prime Days? Is it something that you kind of look at your Christmas in July shopping, or your early Christmas season shopping here in October? Or is it just something that you budget for? Or do you just kind of scroll through and see if there's something you like? I don't know. I just I didn't really pay that much attention to Prime Days this year, so I'm curious as to how many of you try and look for art supplies on Prime Days. As you can see, as I'm using this pen to just kind of scribble in really some leaves, and I'm having a lot of fun just not even thinking. And that is the other thing that I wanted to share with you about plein air. Don't overthink it. You know, go where the paintbrush takes you, go where the pen takes you. Just try and fill in. Less is more. Try and be as loose as you possibly can. Unless you want to focus on something in detail, of course, you certainly can do that. But for me to try and see what I can achieve in a very short period of time, I mean, I wasn't working against the clock, but you know, if you are out on your lunch break, you might be working against the clock. I just want you to all have that moment in your lives where you can relax and enjoy what you're seeing, have time in nature, and really just refresh yourself, just rejuvenate. And that's what plein air is all about. You get out in the air, you get a chance to record something that you're experiencing, and then look back on it and enjoy that wonderful memory. And it doesn't matter what your skill level is. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go in with it thinking, oh, I'm going to create the next beautiful masterpiece and it's going to be wonderful. If you do that, you might be on a fool's errand, because it could start raining any minute. You could get a sudden storm. You could get a sudden wind gust. You might have to put up with onlookers who really want to talk to you and all you want to do is work. You know, sometimes that does happen. It doesn't bother me personally, but I know a lot of people really do kind of shy away from getting outside for that reason. But that's why the other reason I want to show you this way that I did the plein air today, because for those of you that are a little bit intimidated by it and kind of didn't want to have a big setup and kind of draw attention to yourselves, think small. If you get a little tiny sketchbook like this, then you can work and really kind of be just under the radar a little bit, and people just won't even expect that you're painting or drawing. I mean, for all they know, you could just be taking notes. So, our culture is we would love to go up and talk to an artist who's creating standing at an easel, and maybe that's not the kind of attention you want to draw to yourself. And that is my other suggestion to you. Remember, this experience is for you. It's not to create an Instagram worthy moment. It's not to have this experience that you think it would be like to go out and have some plein air time. It's just for you. Maybe you'd rather just go and take some photos like this video here and remember the moment and then go back and paint it at home. That is fine too. Plein air is never required. Everything that you do in art should be for you, should be fun, should be relaxing, and it should really be an escape for you to help you de-stress and get rid of all that baggage that we carry with us. And if you can see some aliens along the way with their reflection in the water, that's just pure bonus. And as I was watching the ducks, of course, I realized that I forgot their little orange feet. So I'm going to mix up some orange here and just tap in a little bit of orange. And I've got to be really careful because this pen is not waterproof. And this is a moment when I don't want that ink to bleed in and create a shadow. But now, aren't those just the cutest little duck bottoms that you've ever seen? I don't know. They make me laugh. I'm a pretty simple person, but I really like it when the ducks dive under the water. And this is something that is going to be a good memory for me for my day today here at Hudson Gardens. So in looking at this again and realizing that I know who I am and I'm not going to remember where I was when I painted these paintings, I'm just going to take some notes here. I'm just going to write Hudson Gardens on both pages, and that's enough of a memory for me. You can write whatever you like. You could write little notes. You could have a picture on one page and notes all on the other side. For instance, if I left that left side blank, I could have written about the changing cottonwoods and the pumpkin festival that they're having here. So right now I just wanted to write Hudson Gardens, but look what I found. I have a leaf, and since that page is so small, I was kind of thinking it would be fun to paint a leaf on the next page. And I'm going to try and set this up so that I can clip those paints on the left and balance the leaf on my knee and paint this for you guys. So let's see how this setup works. I've got this portion sped up here because I just wanted to show you real quick kind of how this paper works. You can really see that the paint sits on top of it. And on a cool day like this, where you had a little bit more humidity than usual, now our usual humidity here is around 18%. So this was probably more like 20 or 30, which is probably even dry for a good portion of the world. But to me, it was feeling a little bit humid and kind of chilly, actually. But I just want you to see how this paper acts and how you can work with cellulose paper. It doesn't have to be cotton paper. Get whatever paper is in your price point. But what you want to do definitely is to be able to use whatever paper you're using to your advantage. So here is a little bit of duck interlude while we're waiting for our leaf to dry. I just got such a kick out of these ducks and watching the water, and I wanted to share it with you. I hope this isn't boring footage, but I really just felt that this was so beautiful and peaceful, and I hope you're enjoying it. Now we'll go back to our leaf, which has dried nicely. It did take a little bit, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to try and mix some dark colors to get all those beautiful spots on the leaf. This is one of those cottonwood leaves, and if you guys were with me, you would have laughed because I'm sitting on this elevated platform, and there's no back support, so it's just this ring of a wall that's around here. And the leaf was behind me, so I had to reach down and grab it from behind me, but the ground was lower than my feet are, and I haven't done that. I mean, I know that's a really simple move, but I haven't done those kinds of acrobatics in several years. So it was kind of funny. I thought I was going to fall, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do this, and I really had to focus and maintain a strong core, and I was able to do it. I was able to pick up that leaf from the ground behind me without getting up. So that is my physical challenge for the day. I've mixed some ultramarine here and burnt sienna to get the dark fungus, I think that's fungus or some kind of a decay anyway on the leaf, and just painting that in and just trying to get a little bit of the shadows in. You can see the sun is coming out a little bit. And all of these things are some things that you do have to encounter and deal with when you are painting plein air. So that's why I always recommend that you take a photo of what it is you want to paint if you're in a situation where you are going to have changing light, because the light is going to change the way the colors look. And if you don't record it in one instance, then you might find that by the time you get to the other side of the painting, things don't quite look like they did when you got started. So in this case, I'm just holding the leaf. It's not, it wasn't essential that I took a photo, but it is essential if you take a photo when you're out and there are clouds overhead that can pass by a big landscape, or any time that you're not in, that you're not in any kind of overcast sky. So here's our little leaf, and I'll just rinse off my brush here. And you know what? Let's go walk around a little bit and check out these pumpkins. Now here are the ones that are set up to look like art. And again, these are all just foam pumpkins that are kind of put on there, and then they light up from behind. And you can see the big speaker there on the floor, so they do have musical accompaniment. But yeah, you can see there's American Gothic at the end, and that was the Andy Warhol can of soup. Frida Kahlo was in there, American Gothic. But all of these little displays are all over the south side of the garden. And look at this magical pumpkin house. It says trick or treat there, so I don't know if they open this little area to the kids. You know, even if you're young at heart, you would really like this. Look at this giant pumpkin king. He's kind of spooky. I think he would be fun to see. And as I'm leaving, I decided to walk by the river and take some photos of these special pumpkin carvings. I mean, these are just really gorgeous. And again, though they're Scooby-Doo, they're not real pumpkins. They're out of foam, but they do all light up. And I'm pretty sure they keep them from year to year. You know, all of these were very, very Halloween oriented, except for the inexplicable carved pumpkin that was Kevin Hart, the actor. I have no idea why that was in there, but it was, and it made me laugh. There's a lot of neat surprises here. So if you get a chance to go out to Hudson Gardens any time of year, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this long, you guys. I'm really happy to share this plein air with you, and I hope we can do it again. As we're looking at these final slides of what I painted, I hope you guys are all really enjoying all of the fall festivals that are in your area. And if you are close to the Denver Metro, maybe come down to Hudson Gardens and walk around, see it in the daytime for free, and then get some tickets and come back and see this pumpkin festival at night. We'll see you later, guys. Take care. Bye now.